All right, welcome back, everybody. Time now for Better Pets.
As the weather gets warmer, we'll likely start seeing bugs, and for pets, that means fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes. Oh my, I'm itchy already.
All right, our Better Vet, Dr. Andrew Dennis of Bloomfield Animal Hospital, is here to talk about what we should be doing to protect our pets. And you know, with this, obviously it's cold today, and it's going to be cold over the weekend, but we've had some really mild temperatures with temperatures in the 70s. I'm already seeing ticks and mosquitoes.
Yes. It's sort of rampant, especially about 5 days ago, and I mean, who knows weather better than you do, but it has just been insane. And we see these young dogs, especially these young puppies, and when they have ticks on them, they can become badly anemic, even fleas, because what do the fleas do? Mosquitoes and ticks, they suck your blood.
Ugh.
I mean, I know you love talking about this, but that's exactly what happens.
And the tick gets bigger and bigger and bigger as they can, and that's how I find them. I don't typically see them when they're small, but as they get engorged, you see them bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right, and engorging is where they're just taking a blood meal, and what we wanted to sort of point out here is that it's not just cats and dogs. Horses are really, really problematic as far as ticks are concerned, and they get some of the same diseases that dogs, in particular Lyme disease, is probably one of the most common things that we see in horses and we see in dogs. Cats, it's a rare entity to get Lyme disease.
Okay.
Then there's a whole bunch of other diseases like babesiosis, Ehrlichia, Anaplasma, all different diseases from ticks, and they're all different ticks that cause these diseases. So again, it's a matter of not just that they're gross, and they are. I think they're absolutely gross.
There's nothing disgusting. I don't know why.
So gross.
Like I always say, God didn't make mistakes, and then He made the tick.
Well, my son reminds me there were ticks in the dinosaur age, you know, and it's like because there's nothing that can really kill them, you know, efficiently.
Yeah, but there's certain procedures you always read about. Maybe they're missed, where you take a tweezer or you take Vaseline or oil. What is the best way to remove a tick once you find it? And then let's go back to how to prevent them getting on them in the first place.
All right, well, excellent idea about how to remove the tick the right way. So I have my little puppy here today. And the best thing really is, and I know this is not Scott's favorite, but
we have a huge tick.
It is, but it shows all the parts. It shows the 8 legs. It shows the head. A lot of people aren't even sure what the head is. And then you've got the body. So if this is going to be connected right here, right? And the worst thing that you can do is grab the tick right here. Because when you do that, you're squeezing, right? And you squeeze the blood and the diseases into the animal. So you always want to grab by the head. So I love having a pair of tweezers, and you just grab the head and you pull straight up. That's all you do.
I never knew that.
Very simple, and that's all that's needed. Now, I have another tool called a tick lasso here. I'm leaning, I know. But this is my favorite. It just sort of has a little loop. It goes around the head of the tick, and you pull that straight out.
Oh, isn't that
it sort of grabs it. It's called the tick lasso, my absolute favorite one. But everyone should have a pair of tweezers. Just grab it straight and pull it out. Then the other thing is, where do you put that tick? Where do you want to put that tick?
I flush them down the toilet.
Yeah, but should you save it to see if it's got Lyme disease? Or?
You can if it's a deer tick. Those little teeny tiny ones. The brown dog ticks don't really carry Lyme disease, but if you're concerned, especially in humans, I like to save the tick.
You save the tick?
Yeah, but you put it like in a jar. This is if you're bit, and you find out you put it in a jar with a little piece of like damp cloth, like a little paper towel, and then you can have that tick submitted to check whether it has Lyme disease or not.
Interesting.
All right, but what I recommend doing, and you see the pictures that we have up on the screen now, see how you see the 8 legs, and that's the head. A lot of people just reach for the body thinking that's the head. The head's teeny tiny. And the best way you know you've gotten them all is if you can go ahead and get a little piece of skin, just a tiny little piece of skin at the same time, then you know you've gotten it all. But then we talk, what do we do with the tick? And I just love putting it in a jar of alcohol. Rubbing alcohol.
And that kills it?
That kills it. They are sturdy. If you try to crush it, if you try to even burn them, that doesn't always work.
Those are all they're so resilient.
They're very resilient. And you know, it's the old wives' tale about just putting them down the toilet, but a jar of alcohol and have that ready to go. I think that's very important.
We're talking about mosquitoes.
Yeah, mosquitoes, you know, mosquitoes carry heartworm to cats and dogs. That's why mosquitoes are really problematic. But there are products out there, but they're not nearly as effective as against fleas and ticks.
Okay.
And I think we've got some slides to talk about some of those products. It's like prevention, prevention, prevention. In the old days, we used to have sprays, and they're still available. But remember flea powder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Flea spray?
This is now specifically, Dr. Dennis, for fleas or mosquitoes or both? Or
That's fleas and ticks.
fleas and ticks right here, okay.
Right, and but those products, they're out there, they're relatively inexpensive, they're not my favorite. Then you know the topicals.
Yep.
You know, you've got your Frontline Advantix 2s where you just put the liquid, and again, we'll show you on my little dog. This is what Frontline looks like in the packaging, which is very tough to get out.
Right.
And you just put the entire contents right in the back of their neck, basically between the shoulder blades, and you apply. That's all you have to do, and generally you do that once a month.
And there's a chewable?
There's chewables, which is my favorite.
Okay.
NexGard is one of them. Brevecto. There's others on the market too. I think they do a fabulous job against ticks. And when you have children, youngsters just sort of touching, or someone that's even immunocompromised,
right.
Why have any of these products that anyone's touching? And they get a little bit messy, but what happens is the expense goes up too. So, those chewables
Right.
tend to be a little bit more expensive, but I think they work the best.
And these are year-round preventative maintenance options.
Really, the best thing to do is do it all year round. But now this one is a good one.
Seresto.
Seresto collars, those are fabulous for ticks too. But if you have a dog that swims, I sometimes worry about cats being outside and having their collar caught on a tree. But people absolutely love those and swear by them. But
Yeah, I got that from my mom. It seems to have worked really well.
Oh, my goodness.
Just kidding. Thank you, Dr. Dennis. All right, as a reminder, Dr. Dennis is the owner of the Bloomfield Animal Hospital on Old Windsor Road in Bloomfield.
That's terrible. And she's on alternating Saturday afternoons from 2 to 3. She's talking and taking listener questions during her Pet Talk show on WTIC 1080 Radio.